Hello, everyone. Today I have a new metals video. I picked up some fresh Morgans, a small gold piece, and a 2-ounce silver round. But before I start handling anything, I want to put my little gloves on here because I watch so many videos on YouTube, and it's amazing how many people's comments to the poor soul who's showing his coins. All they can say is, "Don't touch the coins." And it's interesting, and I understand it, but it's his coins. He can, something, he can hit him with a hammer on YouTube if he wants. But I'll put them on because I'm going to try to save the comments. So I've been slowly building my Morgan collection, and occasionally I try to get some less common dates and mint marks if I can. I'm trying to pick up the easy ones first, and if I find something interesting at a reasonable price, I'll pick it up. I look at eBay all the time, and I'm trying to find something that doesn't break the budget. But I also don't quite understand the whole cleaning thing yet. How to tell if a raw coin on eBay from pictures has been cleaned or not. I don't plan on grading a lot of my my Morgans. Maybe just a couple of them just to see what happens when they come back. And so generally I'm buying what I see, buying what I like. I've also been watching a lot of the RCTV, the Rare Collectibles TV, Rick Tamaska. I find him very informational, even if you don't like his prices. I also watch the Coin Vault. Those guys are okay, but they sell so many graded common or graded modern coins that I watch them. If the ball game's not on, I flip back and forth between the ball game and the coin stuff. But since I'm not a graded buyer, and I'm not looking to get a whole set of Silver Eagles graded MS69 or PF69. I just, if I want something, if I see something that I find interesting on their site or on their show, I go to eBay and see how the price comparisons go for what's being sold. And also, the strange thing is when I do watch the Rick Tamaska show and they're selling Morgans, and he does those eBay comparisons, he always pulls out the auctions with the highest amount, but it's what the auction is listed at, not what the coin sold at. The best way, and I sell a lot on eBay, comics, action figures, stuff like that. The best way, you got to click the sold listing, and you got to, either click the highest first or the lowest first, whatever is your preference, and see what they're currently selling for, not listed for. But either way, Rick does give a lot of information I didn't know before. So anyway, he had, during one of his Morgan presentations, he was touting, you get an 1878S as a less common, a lower mintage. And so I decided to search that date because I didn't have one anyway. And I was also looking for some toned Morgans. And so it wasn't that difficult to find a reasonably priced 1878S. And that is the first one I'll show. And, as with coins, it's tough to get the right focus. So I'll try it. I think this is working out pretty good. And this is the 7 tail feathers variation. I couldn't tell you one way or the other. I'm not that picky. But I was there's a lot of detail showing here. You get a lot of the hair detail, a lot of the cap detail. And so, and I can't complain. There's not a lot of chips. You get an occasional right over here. There's a nice scratch right in the middle of the 2 stars there. But how I would grade this if I was grading, and I'm not really into the grading part, but I bought this as a very fine extra fine, and I think I got that. I'm not going to complain about what I got. It's not catching the focus right now, but I think you guys can see what's going on here. I don't know how this works either. If I use the magnifying glass, oh, that's pretty good. But so I was looking for some tone coins as well, and so I got the 1878S, and I got that for a pretty good price, under $35. So I was happy with that. And I also started looking for some toned coins, and what I found was I have this. It's just going to reflect off the gloves. I have this. It's hard. Like I said, it's hard to get the light. This is like a steel gray toning on it. A steel gray. The whole thing is gray. A dark gray. And if nothing else, then it was interesting, and it was in pretty good shape. The same thing. I don't want to mess with it. I don't know. I've seen like notations on slabs that say artificially toned. I don't know what's what, but it's nice, and I'm happy with it. That's the way I look at it. 1881p, no mint mark. And then I have these two coins that showed up as I thought they were going to be a little more bronze toned. It's an 1886p, and I think it's got good cartwheel going on, so I don't think it's been cleaned. And on the back side, you can see the rim toning. It's not as, and I'm guessing this is the type of light that it was photographed in for the auction, because it looks bronze, and it doesn't have that gold bronze tint to it. It's pretty much of a straight silver coin. Not the blast white stuff, but your better silver coins. And but it does have the nice dark toning around the rim. So I'm cool with that. The whole, it's not, like I said, every time I think I have a good angle on the coin, it just doesn't show up. The lighting's, it's tough to light. And I also got an 1887p. Again, this is your average silver coin, or your average silver tone coin. It looks more bronze than it actually is. But this has some rim toning on the obverse, but not a lot. I thought it was a little more, because the pictures showed it as a more bronzish tone. But either way, I like it, and I didn't break the bank grabbing them. They were, all these 4 Morgans were under 35 a piece, and they're in pretty damn good shape, so I'm not going to complain about that. So I get these, the other thing, I get these emails from Provident, and I buy a lot of my regular silver on Provident, and they got this deal that pops up for a Liberty half eagle. It's supposed to be a random date, and it shows as cleaned or polished. So they're putting that right out there. It's about a 1/4 ounce of gold, and it's a little heavier than that, but the gold content is about 0.24 and change. So it's about a 1/4 ounce of gold. And the Liberty head was made from the late 1800s. I think it was 1870 something to 1908. So I'm going to get a random year. I got a good chance of getting something pre-1900, I'm thinking. And it is gold. If nothing else, it's worth whatever the gold content is. So I get it in the mail, and it's the 1905, which is actually the date that they showed on the ad. It would have been nice to get something pre-1900, but either way, it's 113 years old. It's in really nice shape. It says cleaned or polished already. It's a quarter ounce of gold, and I paid less than spot for a .24. So I'm not going to complain too much because, again, I'm not grading these to keep, or I'm not grading these to sell or flip or anything like that. It came up. I was looking to buy. I had money to grab a small gold piece, and I thought it was kind of interesting to have. I was also thinking of getting it graded, and I don't buy graded coins as a rule, but I looked into the PGS, the NGC, or the PCGS, the NGC, and even Annex, and even ICG a little bit, but that they didn't really do it for me. So for me, it's the issue is not how much it costs to grade. The return shipping is almost prohibitive. If you're just doing one or two coins and you're not in it, you're not sending them some BU Carson City Morgan or some extremely expensive other type coin, which I'm not familiar with. Just to have something protected in a slab, verified. I know if I was to have this graded, I mean, I could be reasonably sure that this thing would come back as with the details notation of cleaned or polished. There we go, cleaned or polished. But it's a 1905. I'd like it to be in a slab. And since I already own the coin, and one like Rick Tomasca's or Tomasca or other people who say it now all the time is you buy the coin, not the holder. If they have some great label on a slab, that's just a piece of paper that's been printed with some graphic on it. They can say what they want about early releases, first day of issue. That's candy. It doesn't mean anything. It's not, people will collect first day issues, but it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't get a premium, but people like to see that notation on it. First day issue, early releases, whatever it happens to be. Well, what I'm saying is that I can, instead of buying the coin, because I already own the coin, I don't have to buy the coin or, buy the coin, not the holder. I can actually buy the holder, whatever holder I like better. And looking at all of them, they all say pretty much the same thing. None of them say half eagle on the slab. It says, in this case, this is a $5 piece. So a regular eagle is $10. This is a $5. They call it a half eagle. It doesn't say half eagle. Obviously, half eagle is more the slang for it. So it would say $5, 1905, whatever. And then it may pop in as details, either cleaned or polished, or, I mean, I wouldn't like to see improperly cleaned or improperly polished, but I mean, it would be protected in the slab and verified. I went to a coin shop to ask him if he did any submissions from myself using his account, and if he was going to send a bunch of coins in, the shipping cost comes back down. And he rebuffed me, and it's not the rebuffing that bothered me. It's more the way he did it. He goes, "Oh, it's just a common gold coin. We sell them here. I wouldn't send it in. I wouldn't send it in just to come back with a polished or clean notation on it." And I said to him, I said, "But it's not you. It's me. Pardon me for I hit the holder. I would like to have it verified and slabbed. You're not doing me a disservice by actually just doing what I go into with eyes wide open." And he wouldn't. He wasn't a jerk about it, but he was adamant. He wouldn't do it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But I also don't think he was doing what he could to generate a return customer, because he has Morgans, and I looked at them, and there was a couple I was interested in. And if he had done what I asked, and I was going to pay him for it anyway. What does he care? He wouldn't. He wasn't taking me for anything. I knew what I was doing. So anyway, I'm thinking of maybe I have both of these in my Dansko albums, which I've shown in previous videos. So maybe I might send these in along with the gold, because the return shipping from Anax is $24 for 1 to 4 coins. And so if you start breaking it down, that's 24 for one, or 8 each if I'm sending 3. So maybe it's just in my head. It feels better. But the 1878 and the 1881 are going into the Danskos. I've been rambling on a little bit here. I wrote some things down and I was going off the notes I had. But I also picked up, while I was at Provident getting the gold, I've been picking up the Egyptian series they have, and they just came out with a new one several months ago, and I hadn't picked up an order in a while, and it's Sobek, the Egyptian god, and I really like these. I mean, I'm kind of, I don't think I'm a buff on India or Egyptian history, but the stuff comes up on History Channel and I'm all over it. And I mean, it's a nice substantial 2-ounce round, and it actually weighs in at more than 2 ounces. I grabbed a little scale to check stuff like that out, and this actually comes in at a little more than 2 ounces. I mean, unless the scale isn't calibrated correctly. So that's my Sobek. This is in fact exactly how it looks. This is for whatever reason, the light is hitting this properly. This is the correct tone. It's a kind of a matte. It's not a polished silver by any means, but it's got some interesting details on it with the croc and the pyramid and the writing in the back. So as long as they put these out, I'll pick them up. So that's what I have for you today. I appreciate you watching. Please let me know what you think about the grading if you want to comment, and even my little coin store story about wanting to send this out on their account. I mean, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I appreciate you watching, and I hope you come back for another video soon. And have a nice day.